So today I'm going to be getting my heritage armor on my Night Elf Hunter. I was really excited when I logged on the other day and I saw that one of the new things that's available right now in the Dragonflight expansion is the quest line to get heritage armor for Night Elves. And I've had this character ever since my beginning days of WoW, so I'm pretty attached to her and I'm pretty excited. This armor is going to look beautiful, and if you follow along with me, you will see my adventures. So thanks for joining and let's get started. So I got a quest from this Night Elf, and that's what I'm going to do to start this quest. Now, in case you're wondering, I am actually in my garrison right now. Garrisons are pretty much the closest thing that we have in World of Warcraft to a home. And the garrison is something that they implemented in the Warlords of Draenor expansion. And it's not the perfect home, but it is the only home I have in World of Warcraft. So I'm going to go to Stormwind through my garrison. There's a little portal, and it takes me into this Storm Shield area that was a place we would go to during the Warlords of Draenor expansion. I don't really come out here now. But anyway, there's a portal right here, so I just take this portal to Stormwind when I'm in my garrison, and it's just a quick way for me to get to Stormwind. So I'm just following the quest, the Clarion call, and I have to speak to Arcanarin, Starshade in Stormwind City. And on my minimap, I have a gold arrow that I'm following. If you've never played World of Warcraft, or you haven't really played very many games, World of Warcraft is a game that's been around since I believe it was 2004 when it came out. And it's come a long way, in my opinion. There's been a lot of changes, some of which people don't necessarily love, but I personally have been enjoying this game for decades, and I do have waves of interest with it. What I mean by that is that there's times when I'm more interested in playing and I'll play it for a while and I'll get really into it, and then it'll become a little bit redundant, or I'll just lose interest for whatever reasons, and then I don't play it again for a while, and then the new expansion will come out and I'll play it again. So it's like this cycle for me. But they also have World of Warcraft Classic, which is also really fun to play, and that's just, they brought it back because so many people wanted to play the classic WoW, which is very different from the retail WoW, the newer WoW. So I'm accepting this quest from her, and she says, "Thank you for answering my call." By the way, if you haven't done this quest and you don't want spoilers, you probably don't want to keep watching.
Darnasus, all that pacing is making me nervous, brother.
Naria, I do not know if I am ready for this.
You're the one always telling me to be strong in the face of adversity, Lysander. I don't have time to sit here and reassure you.
I wasn't asking for... I'll be fine.
Let's go. Meet us in Felwood, champion. We will be waiting for you there.
So now I'm taking the portal to Darnasus, which is it's in a different continent. And the Darnasus is the Night Elf main city. And when you start a Night Elf in World of Warcraft, you start off in Teldrassil. Teldrassil's beautiful. There's a beautiful big living tree that they just love and adore in Teldrassil. So when you start the game, you're in their territory and you're going through the quest line that starts their journey. The music's just relaxing and beautiful, and it's lots of foresty land, and this area just has, I feel a lot of nostalgia when I hear the music, because my very first character I ever created was a night elf. And so it kind of takes me back. Whenever I come back here, it takes me back to that time. But we're flying to a place called Felwood, which is where we're going to be doing some quests. And there is a lot of flying and traveling to these different locations that does take some time, but it feels like you're really doing it. It's very satisfying if you like role play in a way, because you're experiencing the whole journey of flying to the place. To me, it's actually kind of a cozy game the way I play it. I know that might sound really shocking, but you know, I don't do raids. I don't even really do dungeons because I pretty much play solo. I don't have a group of people that want to play this game with me to where I could actually play and do the dungeons. My husband plays with me sometimes, but you can't do a dungeon with 2 people, unfortunately.
Another lost, when we've lost so many already.
Did she fall like the others?
Yes, the trail leads to here. The Moonwell nearby has been tainted by a foul corruption. Arconarin, champion, I'll need your assistance to clear the area. The wardens are watching.
Taronda has suspected there was something foul happening here in Felwood, and she was right. Well, the name Felwood kind of tips us off a little bit, doesn't it? Her priestess Kalessa was sent here to purify the Moonwell from the fell corruption that plagues this land, in an effort to reclaim that which belongs to us. Now we have lost one of our sisters, and the Moonwell still remains corrupted. We cannot let this stand. We will finish what Kalessa started and heal the Moonwell. And that's basically the gist of it. So the Moonwells are very important to them. They keep them cleansed, and this one has been corrupted, so they want to cleanse it. They want to heal it.
This is it? Where Mother slept? I thought it would be,
Nicer? There's a reason she and Father wouldn't let you come here, brother. This place was already far gone by the time you were born. Like everything else, I suppose.
Nari, don't. We can fix this. This place reeks of foul magic. Like it has been overrun.
This place is riddled with satyr. You need not meddle with the arcane to see it. Simply open your eyes and look. What is your report? Back to your duties.
What brings you here? Good luck, friend.
This place, it was once so important to my family. That is why I agreed to come, and why Lysander wanted to come along as well. She glances over at her brother. Even after the horrors of Teldrassil, my brother still tries to do everything he can to help others. Much like you, Sylvan.
Goddess watch over you.
My sister's always thought of me as a child, despite my years.
Till next we meet.
I cannot thank you enough for your help with this, Sylvan. I knew I had to be here to help Nari when she told me about this mission. It seems as though my skills are needed, just as I thought. The magic here is foul and all-corrupting. It must be contained. Please take this book and read the incantation within afterwards. Now, I could rewind and read all of that, but the point is that we have to cleanse this place. So we're going to shoot the evil beings that are here, the satyrs or whatever, and then we are going to use this little book to do like this little incantation that's going to basically neutralize the corruption, I guess. I play World of Warcraft, I just love to kind of relax and take it at my own pace. I like to have sparkly things and bows that have enchantments, and the only bow in the whole entire game that has an enchantment to it is the bow that I'm using, which is it was a legendary bow at the time when you could get it, and I mean, I suppose it's still considered a legendary bow, and it has this little animation to it. If you look at it, you'll see that it kind of looks like stars. It's blue. You can see the little stars trailing off of it. And then I found this toy that lets me have wings, like fairy wings, in one of the expansions. I think that was Shadowlands expansion, maybe. And then there was also another toy that I connect to my spell. It's if you look every now and then, you'll see like a rainbow coming off of me, and that's a toy called a prismatic bauble. So what I do is I find these toys throughout the different expansions that I've played, and when I see one that has a cool animation, I connect it. You can make these things called macros, and you can make it to where when you use a spell, the toys will also do their animation. So it's kind of a way to kind of jazz up my spells, I guess, and make it look really cool. I don't know. I just think that's fun. So every now and then you'll see a rainbow coming from my back as I'm running, and you'll also see wings that appear, like fairy wings. And those are just toys that I attach to my spells. And when I found out that you could do that, I thought, why not? Now the bow does its animation just by itself. The little, it's like a bright, you'll see like a whitish blue and like little sparkles. And that's just what that magic bow does. And I wish that they would put more magic weapons in the game like that, because you can't put an enchantment on a bow, but you can put really cool enchantments on swords and daggers and, you know, melee weapons, but not a bow, as far as I know. Now maybe I haven't played the new expansion recently. I have played Dragonflight in the beginning. I did a lot of the quests and got through most of Dragonflight, but then I lost interest when they introduced way too many currencies, and I just felt so overwhelmed because I was like, okay, what is this currency for? And it was getting to the point where I had to look up, you know, how to understand what currencies I was dealing with and what I was doing just on YouTube just to play the game and enjoy it. And when a game gets like that complex, to me, it's no longer the game that I want to play. I want to be able to play a game that's deep and well thought out, but also has a little bit of simplicity to it, to where they don't overcomplicate things. You know, when something's overcomplicated for me, then I don't really want to play it, because life is already overcomplicated, and, you know, we spend most of our lives working. So when you play a game, you don't want to feel like it's a second job. So I do hope that things change and that they get kind of back to simplifying it in a sense for me personally. So anyway, now we're going to be following Maeve down into this tunnel area here, and we have to be protected. She yells at me a lot. She's kind of mean. You know, if I stop a little bit to loot something and she's not having it, she will yell at me, which that's fine. But then when she stops to talk to one of the NPCs, you know, it's okay. So she's a little bit of a hypocrite. So I do, at this point, now, like I said, I haven't played Dragonflight recently, so maybe if I got on there and started playing the Dragonflight, I would be surprised with things. I don't know if they've changed anything since, but my opinion at this point is that I really enjoy leveling more than playing the Dragonflight expansion right now.
Yes, yes. I remember this place well.
I'm sorry it's been spoiled for you. Mother loved it here, didn't she?
It's not... It's fine, Lysander. Let's just go.
Keep your eyes sharp, Argonarin.
And since I'm not a raider, I don't do a lot of dungeons because I don't have a group to play with. Since it's just me playing solo, I just feel like I enjoy leveling characters more than I do playing the high level stuff. Now there are some things about the Dragonflight that I did have a lot of fun with, but once I got to a certain point, I just kind of lost interest in it.
Are you looking to get
And that's just me.
tortured? Get over here.
See, I got yelled at because I got out of her bubble. I guess she just has my best interests at heart. But anyway, so I hope that someday they will scale dungeons to where you can play even solo by yourself and just go in and do a dungeon, like maybe on adventure mode, like story mode, just to see the storyline if you are just playing it by yourself and you don't have anyone to play with.
Where they held you.
Yes. Over there. In those cages.
Wait, Nari, this is where you were captured? I didn't know. We never should have come back here.
I have felt the walls of confinement close in as well, Argonarin. But you are free now. Your path is your own. That it led you to the Wardens is a boon to the Kaldori. And to me.
Thank you, Warden. That means a lot.
So there are a lot of things that I would have on a little wish list that I wish that WoW would do to change it a little bit, because like I said, if you're a solo player, it would still be nice to experience the content.
Our mission, champion. What do you think you're doing, champion?
Nari. I'm sorry. Why didn't you tell me what this place really was?
Because I do not need you worrying over me. Come on.
Get closer.
Let's go, champion.
Do not use that item yet.
Some other things that I have on my wish list would be not just scaling the dungeons to where one person could play by themselves, but just have any number, any amount of players, 1 to 5, be able to do a dungeon together. And, they could let you hire an NPC to take on the roles that you're missing. When you start a character in their new area, their new zone, it's called Exile's Reach. And you go from 1 to 10 basically, and it's like a tutorial area. The end of it ends with a dungeon, and you are just learning, so it's kind of like a tutorial.
Any siblings?
Have you not heard of Jared's Shadow Song?
My apologies. History was never my strongest subject.
Do not apologize. There were many days where I suspect he would have appreciated being forgotten. He was not as outspoken as you, nor was he keen to lead, but lead us he did, to victory, long ago.
Anyway, what I was saying is that the last part of the Exile's Reach ends in a dungeon, and you do play with NPCs, so I do believe they could do that. And if they did let us hire the NPCs to do dungeons, I think that would be so fun. Then you wouldn't have to worry about joining a group if you don't know people, because Me personally, I don't really like to play with people that I don't know. That's just me. I'm kind of a shy person, a little bit reserved. So if I can't play with a group of 5 players that I know, I think it would be neat to play with however many I do have with me. Maybe we just have 2 or 3 people, and then we have to hire a few NPCs to fill the rest of the roles that we're missing. And I think that would be really fun. So that's one of my big things, is just I would be so excited to see, the dungeons, experience that whole part of WoW in that particular way. So the other thing I would love, and I'm not saying they can do these things, but this is my wish list. But I would love if we could have our own home. We have our garrison, but I would love to be able to have the garrison be more customizable, to where you could go out and gather the materials that you needed and then come back and use those materials to set up a shop and actually build. And we could build our home. That would really get me playing more, and it would make me feel even more connected to the world.
Wardens have paid me a visit, and the illustrious Maiev Shadowsong herself. I am honored. I suppose you and these champions have come to stop me. How quaint. Such a pity I could not turn Kalesa before my minions killed her. But that is all you're kind of good for, is it not? Dropping like flies.
Your end draws near, demon. You know it as well. I can hear it in your voice.
Goddess,
Champion, Arcanaren and I will find Lord Helneroth. Take Lysander with you. Put an end to the demon's minions. Meet with us after you have finished.
Yes, Warden. I am sorry, my friend. I did not realize what this place really was. Long ago, these were burial pits. My mother used to rest here when she was called to the Emerald Dream. That must be why my sister came here with her friend Trey, to fix this place for my mother and our family.
If you are interested in lore, there are so many videos on YouTube that explain World of Warcraft lore. I know the main overarching lore that, just covers from the very beginning till now, but it would take a really long time to go into it. And I don't necessarily have it all perfectly accurate in my mind.
Disrupt this portal, but it will require concentration. Please, defend me while I shut it down. My parents told me she was captured, but they were certain she'd return home. And she did. The sparkle left her eyes. I knew there were things they didn't tell me.
I mean, we're fighting with NPCs right now, so why couldn't we go into dungeons like that? That would be really cool. Now, I love playing a hunter because hunters can tame pets, and if you are a beast mastery hunter, you can tame all kinds of really cool looking pets. And the dog that I have with me, this big wolf, his name is Gara, or her name is Gara. And that was a really cool quest line back in the Shadowlands. And it was a hidden hunter quest that someone discovered, and then I actually looked it up online. and watched a YouTube video on how to get Gara. So if you're playing as a hunter, a beast mastery hunter, and you want to get Gara, there's lots of YouTube videos that will, you know, tutor you how to do that, guide you through it. She's one of my favorite pets. I think it would be neat if World of Warcraft had us do more quests that led to really cool armor. I mean, it makes you have a purpose for wanting to do the quests and wanting to play, and having armor sets is one of the things that would motivate me to play. So if they could do that, implement, you know, more gear that looks really cool, and they could do different tiers of that gear depending on what activity you're doing. Now they did implement the trading post, which is a really fun concept, and I really am enjoying that. So I think I might have done a video kind of talking about the trading posts, but if there's anything you'd like to see more of with World of Warcraft, maybe you have never played video games before and you want to get into a video game, but maybe you're nervous about something like World of Warcraft because it does look like an intimidating game. I think if you never played games, there are so many spells and there's a lot happening on the screen, but you are going to be going through the story and the quests and getting one spell at a time. So by the time you get all those spells in your higher level, you've already played your character enough and you've gotten those spells one at a time, so you will learn it as you play it. So it's really not as complicated as it might seem. Now there is a lot to know and to learn about World of Warcraft. But if you just create a character and follow the storyline, the quests, you're going to be surprised, I think, at how kind of easy it is, really. It's not hard like it used to be in the classic WoW. Now, if you play classic WoW, it's a different story. But if you're playing the retail WoW, and they did make it to where you can make a character and you can play, I believe, up to level 20 before you have to pay. Now, another thing I wish they would do is just get rid of the $15 a month or whatever it is subscription fee, because I don't think there's any games out there that have that still, and that's a lot of money every month that they've been raking in. And I realize they might have to implement something else to where they can make some money, and maybe that's going to be cosmetic through the trading post. Maybe they're going to have just cosmetic things available that won't make you more powerful, but that you can just use as cosmetics. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're going to do anything different, but I feel like the subscription fee, it would be nice to have that go away. So yeah, those are my main things, you know. Don't make it so complicated with all these different currencies and all these different renowns and all this stuff you have to look up. You know, I've got so many things in my bags that are from previous expansions that I don't know if I should keep or not, because I can't tell if it's from the new expansions or not. I think it would be nice if they would have a way to help us clean that stuff up too. It'll be interesting to see how things might change.
Recharging. I don't have a target. I cannot use that item. I don't have a target.
Blasted portal. Cover me, and I'll tear it down.
We did it! Yay!
The Wardens are watching.
I am honored. Good luck, friend. Darnasus, be careful. Farewell. It's still recharging.
Lysander, now!
Everyone, to the portal! Quickly!
Lysander, are you...
Look! The Moonwell!
It is done. When Tyrande decreed that arcane practitioners would return to our numbers, I vehemently protested.
You had every right to be wary, Warden.
Yet today, I have witnessed who you truly are. A strong, resilient defender of the Kaldori. Should you wish it, your face will bear the mark of Protector.
I thought men were not permitted such...
Even sacred traditions should evolve, as should the Kaldori. Come, Lysander.
Go on.
Alright, so he can be a warden. So we healed the Moonwell, and all is well.
Until next time. Let the waters cleanse your spirit as we have cleansed the well. Lotus petals bloom, granting color to your mark, just as your purpose blooms within you. A needle of briarthorn to bear the ink to skin, just as you bear the charge you carry. Bruiseweed to numb the pain.
I do not need it.
The world gifts us with means to move beyond this pain. You prove nothing by choosing to dwell in it.
I understand, Warden.
Maiev. It is done. Rise, Lysander.
Mother and father would be proud. As am I.
Thank you, Nari. Let's head back to Stormwind.
And now we have to turn this final part in. I would consider it cozy because I don't put any stresses on myself. I'm not doing any of the hardcore raids or dungeons. I'm just casually playing and leveling and enjoying the experience, enjoying the journey. I've leveled up several characters. The spells are beautiful. Each class is really fun to play. If you would like to see, a little bit more to help you get started, if you're interested in playing World of Warcraft but you're a little nervous about it, leave a comment, let me know. But we're about to get our heritage armor. I wanted to show everything we'll get. So it's a day of celebration. Arcano and Lysander have reminded me that Caldor are no strangers to change.
My vigil continues. Champion, despite all we have been through, your devotion to your people has never wavered. You carry the honor of the goddess with you, and you should carry the name as well. Amashan. May Elune guide you, and may your path continue to inspire us all. What is your report?
Thank you, Maeve. So we get flight stones, I guess, learned from completing PvE. This must be a new currency that I don't know about. Traditional Caldari blades. So we get an appearance of the Caldari blades, and then we get the Caldari Protector's adornment, which is the ensemble, and it's the whole armor set. Now, she doesn't use blades, so I don't know what the blades look like, but we're going to equip the armor. And if I play on a night elf that uses blades, I'll be able to use the blades. But let's take a look at what the armor looks like. These are all my sets, and there it is. And wow, is that beautiful or what? And now I'm just going to change my weapon. I'm going to get my bow, my favorite legendary bow that I transmog with, because it's an older bow from a previous expansion. So I do love the fact that we can transmog and make our outfits. And then I'm going to add my quiver that I got from the trading post right here. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to equip, and I'll end by showing it in a beautiful night elf ruin here, or I don't know, it's not really a ruin, it's just like a night elf city. This is not Teldrassil, but Darnasus, and that's what it looks like. I think it's a beautiful armor set. It's pretty much my favorite one. I love every piece of it. It's really beautiful. And when you get these armor sets, the neat thing is that you can usually use just pieces of them if you want. You don't have to put them all together, but you can use each piece individually with other things. But I love this set. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and for listening to me ramble about World of Warcraft and my wish list and all that stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks again. Happy gaming.